Hi, everybody. Hi, how are you today? Gonna wait just a few minutes because I don't see anybody yet. Oh, here comes somebody. Hello, hello. Good afternoon. I hope everybody is having a great day today. Today is Wednesday, June. Nope, it's not June anymore, is it? July 22nd, and it is 12:30, and this is our second reading of the day. So we will go ahead and get started in just a second. I see some more people joining us. I'm going to wait just a minute and see if I see anybody else, and then we will get started. The book that I'm reading today is a book that maybe you've heard of before. It's a classic book, but I think there's just a little bit of a difference in this book. So I'm sure you've heard of it before, and there are different ways to tell this story. So this story is The Little Red Riding Hood. I don't know if you've ever heard of that before, but Little Red Riding Hood is a story that's been around for a long time. And sometimes there are different ways to tell the story. There's different versions of this story. So today we're going to read one, and I'll show you the book, and here it is. So it's The Little Red Riding Hood. Here's the title, Little Red Riding Hood. There's Red Riding Hood. Ooh, and there's a wolf. And then this says, illustrated. So that is the illustrator. And I'll just show you this person's name because I don't know how to say it and I don't want to say it wrong. So there's the illustrator. And if you remember, the illustrator is the one that draws all the pictures in the book. So this story is Little Red Riding Hood. And remember how I told you this story's been around for a long time. So not one person has wrote this. A bunch of people have rewrote this. So right here it says retold by Gabby Goldsack. So she retold this story to make it her own. So we'll go ahead and we'll get started with the reading. I'm going to scoot my chair over here so that I can get you to see the book. There's the book. Here's the title again, Little Red Riding Hood. And there's the reteller, the illustrator. Okay. Before we get started, I want to know, have you read this before? If you have read this before, what is this book about? I want to know what you think this book is about. Here's the book again. If you've read this before, what is this story about? Well, we will find out for those of you that haven't read it before. And when we're reading this book, I want you to think about the different things about the book. So we're going to think about the characters, the setting, the problem, and the solution. Okay, so the characters are who is in the book. The setting is where it takes place. The problem is what happened, and the solution is how it got fixed. So we're using those WH questions to figure all of these out. All right, here we go. Here's that title again. Okay. Once upon a time, there was a little girl who lived with her mommy in a cottage on the edge of a big forest. Wherever the little girl, you see it? There we go. Whenever the little girl went outside to play, she wore a beautiful red cloak that her grandma had made for her. It had a big red hood, so everyone called the little girl Little Red Riding Hood. Look, there's the cottage, Mommy, Little Red, and her riding hood. One day, Little Red Riding Hood's mommy asked her to take a basket of food to Grandma. Grandma isn't feeling well, Mommy explained, and I'm sure she'd love to see you. Grandma lived on the other side of the forest, so Mommy drew a map on a piece of paper so that Little Red Riding Hood wouldn't get lost. Let's look at the map. See the map? Yeah. So that's, and then she follows the path. Yeah. So this is Little Red Riding Hood's house. There's an X where she starts. She's got to go through the forest to the other X, which is Grandma's house. Let's see what happens. And remember, don't talk to any strangers along the way, said Mommy, helping Little Red Riding Hood into her cloak. Little Red Riding Hood took the basket of food and skipped into the forest. So Mommy said, don't talk to strangers. That's a good idea, Mommy. Good thing to tell her. On the way, Little Red Riding Hood saw some beautiful blue flowers. Grandma might like these, she thought. As she bent down to pick up a handful of the flowers, she didn't realize someone else was in the forest. Who else is in the forest? Who else do you think is in the forest? Yikes, I don't know. It might be the wolf. Hello, little girl, said a deep, growly voice. Little Red Riding Hood jumped with a fright. Oh no! A wolf peered from out behind one of the trees. Oh, hello, replied Little Red Riding Hood, smiling back at the wolf. She had already forgotten her mommy's warning. Do you remember what her mommy's warning was? What did Mommy tell Little Red Riding Hood before she took off? She said, don't talk to strangers. Oh, gosh. Where are you going? Growled the wolf. I'm visiting my sick grandma who lives on the other side of the forest, Little Red Riding Hood explained. Ah, what a kind girl you are, smiled the wolf, showing off his razor-sharp teeth. Yikes, look. You see his razor-sharp teeth? Oh no. Just then, the wolf's tummy gave a loud, rumbly grumble. Maybe that's what it sounded like. I don't know. What was that? Asked Little Red Riding Hood. Just some thunder over the hills, said the sneaky, hungry wolf, as he ran away as fast as he could to Grandma's cottage. Look, he's running away. Do you see the cottage off in the distance? Far away. And there's the wolf. He's running away. I wonder, it says that he's running to Grandma's cottage. Wonder what he's going to do when he gets to Grandma's cottage. Do you know what he'll do when he gets to Grandma's cottage? Do you have an idea? I don't know, but he doesn't seem like a very nice wolf, so I don't know if he's going to be very nice to Little Red Riding Hood's grandma. The hungry wolf peered through Grandma's window and saw the old lady in bed. With a loud howl, woo, the wolf dashed into the cottage and gobbled up Grandma in one large gulp. Gulp. Just like that. Then the wolf put on Grandma's spare nightcap and glasses, clambered into her bed, and pulled the quilt up to his chin. Oh no, he swallowed Grandma. Now he's in her bed. And I think he's wearing a disguise. He looks like he's trying to be Grandma. He's trying to pretend like he is Grandma. Now, all he had to do was wait for Little Red Riding Hood to arrive. Oh no. What do you think he's going to do when Little Red Riding Hood gets here? Because remember, she's coming to visit her grandma. And so she thinks that her grandma is in bed. But it's not her grandma, it's the wolf. So what do you think he's going to do when she gets there? Oh, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be very nice. Here she comes. Oops. When Little Red Riding Hood, you see it? Here we go. When Little Red Riding Hood reached the cottage, she was surprised to find the front door wide open. Grandma, she called, are you there? I'm in the bedroom, replied the wolf in a strange, wobbly voice. Little Red Riding Hood went into the bedroom and gasped in surprise when she saw her grandma. She looked sort of different. Grandma must be very sick, thought Little Red Riding Hood. I hope it isn't catching. Oh no, so she doesn't notice that wolf yet. She just thinks it's Grandma that's really sick. Let's see what she says. Oh, what big eyes you have, Grandma, she said as she went over to the bed. All the better for seeing you with, the wolf replied in the same wobbly voice. Oh no, there's Little Red, and there's the wolf, looks like Grandma. Yikes! Grandma, what big ears you have, Little Red Riding Hood added, moving closer. All the better for hearing you with, said the wolf with a toothy grin. My, what big teeth you have, Grandma, stuttered Little Red Riding Hood. Oh no, look. All the better for eating you with, cried the wolf. Oh no! Little Red Riding Hood screamed, ah! And tried to run away, but the hungry wolf was too fast. He leaped out of the bed and gobbled her up in a single greedy gulp. Just like he did with Grandma. Oh no! Look at that greedy, greedy wolf. Oh, he does not look very nice. I don't know what's going to happen now. Little Red Riding Hood and her grandma were eaten. Oh no! A passing woodcutter heard Little Red Riding Hood scream and ran into the cottage. When he saw the wolf's enormous belly, he guessed what had happened. That wolf's belly was really big. You see how big his belly is right here? Oh my goodness. So what do you think the woodcutter thought happened? He guessed it right. Yeah, he guessed that the wolf ate the two people. Oh no! He picked up the wolf and shook him hard. Look, he's shaking him. Shake. Little Red Riding Hood and Grandma flew out of the wolf's mouth. Look. Whoa, they flew. Luckily, they weren't hurt, but they were very, very cross. Ugh, what does that mean? They were cross. They don't look like they're crossed. What does that mean? Let's look at their face. Yeah, he ate those two people. Yikes. Do you see their face? Yes. Ugh, cross. Yeah, angry, upset, annoyed. Oh, I would be cross too if I got eaten. Yuck. Oh, man. They are not happy. They are angry. You're right. You're both right. Good job. Grandma, Little Red Riding Hood, and the woodcutter chased the wolf into the forest and over the hill. The embarrassed wolf never came back. Look, they're chasing him. Chasing. They're chasing him. He's got to run away. Little Red Riding Hood never spoke to strangers again. The end. Oh my goodness. Oh, and look, she made it to Grandma's. There's the cloak, the basket, and the flowers. Yikes. So Little Red Riding Hood learned a very good lesson today. Do you remember what she learned? Do you know what she learned today? Yeah, she learned not to talk to strangers. And that's what her mommy told her at the beginning of the story, wasn't it? She said, don't talk to strangers. And what did she do? She was in the forest and she told Mr. Wolf where she was going. So the wolf knew where she was going and found her grandma's house. And then he gobbled them both up. But he knew where she would be because she told him. So yeah, it's very important not to talk to strangers and tell them where you're going if you don't know who they are. Okay, so we're going to take a few minutes and we're going to look at the story. And remember those questions I asked you at the beginning of the story? I told you that we were going to think about all the parts of this story. So we were going to think about the characters, the settings, the problem, and the solution. We were going to think about those four things, and they were who, where, what, and how. So let's look at who first. So we have some characters, and remember that is who. So that's who are the people in the book. So let's think about some people that are in this book, and then I'll write them down. Let's see, who is in this book? We've got, we've got mommy at the beginning. Good job. Put mommy on there. We've got mommy. Little Red Riding Hood. I'm going to put Little Red. We have Little Red. Who else do we have in this book? Who else do we have in this story? We have we have Grandma. So we put Grandma there. Good. Who else? There are two more people. We've got the wolf. And then who's the person at the end of the story? The woodcutter. You're right. So these are our characters. We have Mommy, Little Red Riding Hood, Grandma, the wolf, and the woodcutter. So those are all of our characters. Now we're going to look at the setting. So this is where. So this means where did this story take place? So where was Little Red Riding Hood? She went into the where did she go? Little Red Riding Hood went through the place with trees all over. Yeah, the forest. She went through the forest. So that's one of the settings. And actually, there's another setting too. Yeah, the forest or the woods. Yeah, I'll put that next to it. Woods. There's another setting towards the end of the book. Where does she want to go? She has to go through the forest. So that's one setting. Where? Through the forest. Yeah, Grandma's house. She has to get to Grandma's house. So Grandma's house is the other place. Good job. Okay, so we're done with the characters and the setting. Now we're going to think about what was the problem. So the problem is that what question. What happened? What was the problem? I can think of two problems. One character had a problem, and then two other characters had the same problem. Can you think of those? So I can think of one problem. The wolf was hungry. So I'm going to write that down. That's our first problem. The wolf was hungry. So then we're going to go to the solution. How did he solve his problem? So he was hungry. How did he fix that? How did he fix his problem? He was hungry. So he ate Grandma and Little Red. That's how he fixed his problem. Good. So what's the other problem? Let's see. We have one more problem, and two characters have this problem. Little Red Riding Hood has this problem, and Grandma has this problem. What's the problem? Yeah, that's right. Grandma and Little Red got eaten. So that's their problem. Oh no, that's the what. What's the problem? They got eaten. So how did that get solved? How? Do you remember how they got their problem fixed? Yeah, you're right. The woodcutter came and saved them. How did he save them? What did he do to save them? Oh, you're getting closer. Yes, he shook them out. He shook the wolf upside down and he fixed their problem. Very good. You guys are so smart. You got the characters, the settings, the problems, and the solutions. You knew all of them. Great job, everybody. I am so happy you stayed and read this book with me. I look forward to reading books with you all of the time. So today, that's all the readings we have today, but we'll have another reading tomorrow morning at 10:30 and tomorrow afternoon at 12:30, okay? Yeah, so I will be back tomorrow afternoon to read you another story. And somebody new is going to read you a story in the morning. Okay? So we'll see you all tomorrow on Thursday for our books again so we can read and learn with you. Thank you, everybody. I hope you have a great day. Remember to subscribe to our channel so you get notifications so you don't miss our readings. I'll see you later. I think Miss Jenna's going to read with you in the morning, and then I'll be here in the afternoon. Goodbye, everybody. Have a nice day. See you later. Thank you.